All right, let's get into it, Rob, though. Cleveland Browns, obviously, we know, facing the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I'm going to be interested to hear your pick because you've been dropping hints that you might pick the Browns. I think you just want to stick with your anti-Steelers narrative. But, it's tough enough. I mean, I don't know that you can overstate how tough it is to go into your first playoff game in 18 years with a quarterback in his first playoff game, still young, still learning, and you're without your head coach due to COVID. We know, Rob, the NFL, it's not the NBA, not Major League Baseball. The head coach has more of an impact than any other sport, any of the major sports. I think this is huge. But then on top of that, they haven't been able to practice. They had their first practice this afternoon. This afternoon. The odds are so stacked against them. And beyond all that, their all-pro right tackle, Jack Conklin, he missed today's practice. Now, he's questionable for the game.
But also, aren't they missing their left tackle?
They're lifting. Yeah, he's a Pro Bowler, Joel Bitonio.
Right. He's out.
He's out for good, for sure. Myles Garrett is questionable. I think he'll play. Stefanski said he thinks he'll play, but he's questionable. Sheldon Richardson, questionable. Rob, if you pick them, you got guts. But I want them to win. I'll be pulling for them, but I just don't. I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening.
There's too many things stacked up against the Browns. Yeah, I thought that there could be, Chris, if all things were equal, I would have felt a lot better about the Browns. You know, I've been down on the Steelers all year. I thought the Browns would have had a chance to beat them.
So, if they could have practiced this year or this week, I'm saying. Are you saying if they had Stefanski or even if they didn't have him, but just
if they had everything in place?
Right, I'm with you.
If they had everything in place, they would have had a chance to beat them. I really do believe that. I really do, because the Steelers have been, you know this, over the last – I know they came back, Chris, against the Colts in the second half, but there's been a lot more bad Steelers football than good, right, over the last 6 weeks.
Yeah, I probably, all things being equal, I probably still would have picked Pittsburgh, but I agree. I wouldn't have been surprised at all if the Browns would have beat them. They had a really good chance. Now I would be stunned if they beat. Hopefully I'm pleasantly stunned, but I would be stunned if the Browns beat them. So, we'll see. I mean, hopefully it's a good game. You hate to see a game ruined, what should be a competitive game ruined because of COVID, but hopefully that's not the case. But Rob, there's a little drama brewing. I mean, this is a rivalry for all rivalries. More so, Pittsburgh, of course, they look at the Browns as just the little brother that can't. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, they just beat up on the Browns. There's no comparison between the franchises, the successes, and all that, the great players. But they are about 2 hours apart. 2.5 hours apart.
Oh, yeah, that's as close as you can get rivalry without being, Chris, basically, the same state. That's
right, exactly. It's a big time, and similar types of cities in the Midwest. Yep. It's a big time rivalry.
Hard-working, blue-collar towns, nothing flashy in Cleveland or Pittsburgh. I've been to both many times.
Right. So it is a rivalry already, but Juju Smith-Schuster, and we're going to get into him running his mouth, but He said something today that I think, Rob, and I want to hear your view. To me, it's kind of like the tale of two comments. Remember we talked yesterday about Chase Young, the rookie in Washington, talking about, I want Tom Brady. I had no problem with that. I think it was you.
Because he wasn't disrespectful.
Right.
I don't think he was disrespectful at all. I thought he was like, excited about playing against Brady.
You could even look at it as respectful.
Who he grew up. I mean, how old is Chase Young, Chris? 21, 22? Right?
Yeah,
he's seen Tom Brady's whole career.
Entire
Seriously.
life.
Right. So now I'm playing against this guy I used to watch on Sundays when I was a teenager. Come on, man. That's a big thing. And he can get to the quarterback. So I just think it's a natural, what he said.
Yeah, no problem with what he said. But Juju, I got a little issue with this, but here he is.
Do you feel like this Browns team has a different vibe, a more successful vibe than what you've seen in the past from them?
Nah, I think they're still the same Browns team I play every year. I think they're nameless, great faces. Yes, they have a couple good players on their team, but the Browns is the Browns, and that's just like one of those things that AFC North football, and they're a good team. But I'm just happy we're playing them again, this Sunday.
All right, you can take it first, Rob.
They're just a nameless. What did he say?
I mean, I will give him this. That's a statement that Tomlin uses, nameless, faceless opponent. Because Tomlin's whole approach is, look, it's about us, right? It doesn't matter if we're playing Michael Jordan or Lonzo Ball. It's about us. So let's do what we do.
I get it. I mean,
yeah.
The Steelers won how many games, Chris? Was it 12?
12.
And the Browns won 11?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, like,
right.
Like,
and they were 1-1. I mean, Roethlisberger obviously didn't play.
That's what I'm saying.
When the Browns beat them, but it was 1-1. Yeah.
Like I would have loved to have heard, like, dude, this is a real rivalry. This is one of those games. They've come up big time this year. They won 11 games. We won 12. We split our 2 regular season games. This is going to be a dogfight. I expect the Browns, I don't care what's going on, COVID, coach, whatever. So it's a division rival in the playoffs. I thought he was way too flip.
I'm with you. And my thing is, and I like Juju. We interviewed Juju at the Super Bowl. I don't know if it was last year or 2 years ago.
Yep.
But
2 years
ago.
ago.
Nice enough guy. I just kind of think Juju's drawing a little too much attention to himself.
Well,
for a guy that, let's be
dancing.
honest, is kind of been a mediocre receiver since Antonio Brown left town. I mean, like you said, the dancing on people's logos. How can you think that's not going to be taken disrespectfully?
Right.
And I don't want to make too big of a deal out of it, but still, it's just unnecessary,
Right. Especially where your team at that point, Chris, was struggling. Things weren't going great. And then you got to go back and then the coach and your teammates have to answer for you. What is he doing out there?
Right. It's just creating a distraction for your teammates.
That's unnecessary.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. And now this. And here's the thing, and Antonio Brown had an issue with this. In 2018, Juju was voted the offensive MVP of the Steelers. And Antonio Brown was like, yo, he's only getting off because I'm drawing all the double teams. I'm drawing the best defender every week. And Juju's solid. But we hear a little too much about Juju for a guy that's averaged 8 yards a catch this year. That's horrible for a receiver. That's a running back number. In fact, Alvin Kamara averaged more yards per catch, 9, than Juju did. He's like 8.6 or something, Juju. I mean, come on. I know he had a lot. He almost had 100 catches, but still, 8 yards a catch, 8.5 yards? Come on.
Didn't he only have, Chris, the 100-yard game?
Check that out, Lee.
But
he was third on the Steelers in yards, receiving yards. You got Claypool, who's been a really, really nice find for them, Chase Claypool, and there was one more Steelers receiver that was ahead of him. So
you know what? I'm wrong. He didn't. I thought he didn't have any 100 against the Colts. He has not had one 100-yard receiving.
Well, what about last year?
Since Antonio Brown? No, I know that
he didn't have any last year.
Nope. This year,
there you go.
I thought he had it. I thought he had it against the Colts because you remember they came back in the second half. But I'm looking at the stats now, Chris. He had 9 catches, 13 targets, 96 yards, and he averaged 10.7 per catch.
Looks like he did. Well, he did have one last year.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Against Miami, he had 103 yards.
Okay, so
October
then that's
28th. Yep. So one 100-yard receiving game
since Antonio Brown been gone.
Yep.
All right, good catch.
So, and again, we like Juju, but you gotta. We're hearing too much about him. Am I wrong?
No.
To be putting up those types of numbers, you gotta be, to talk this way, to dance on logos. You gotta be doing a little more than this. Now, look, business-wise, could it be smart? We talk more about Juju than any other receiver averaging 8.5 yards a catch.
Which
so I'll
is
give him that.
126th in the league.
Right. There you go. He's known, maybe after he's done playing, people want him on TV and all that. But I'm just saying, look, focus a little more on your craft, get better. And as you said it, show the Browns a little respect because anything
Just
can
a
happen
little
in the
bit.
playoffs. Anything can
just
happen
a little.
in the
Be
playoffs.
careful.
You're giving the Browns much of a shot should the NFL have even looked at postponing this one.
All right, Mark in Virginia. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Mark?
Hi there, guys. I hope you're having a good evening.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Mark, you too.
You were gone last week, Chris, but some guy called in and asked to be put on hold. You remember that, Rob? Unbelievable.
Yeah, I know. I was unless it was a different guy, it was somebody a couple days ago, right, Rob?
Somebody did
He was
that.
like,
You're
"Hold
right.
on,
You're
hold
right.
on, guys."
Unbelievable. I
Like,
chuckled
dude,
about
come on.
that. Anyway, this thing in the Browns, and I was born in Cleveland and grew up in that northeastern Ohio, so I'm a Browns fan. However, I try to put it in perspective quick. As far as Juju, he's about as insecure as he can get. He can afford to run his mouth when both Greedy Williams and Denzel Ward are out, okay?
Right.
Both starting cornerbacks are out. He can run that big mouth. I'll say one thing, though. He better have his head on a swivel. Number two, Stefanski, I think you're missing the ball on that. He's not only missing as a coach, he's the play caller.
Right.
Unlike
He's the offensive-
Tomlin,
Right.
Tomlin's not involved in any of that. And you know what? Tomlin allows guys like Juju to speak. He really does. He has no problem with that. But the Browns are going to be missing. People are forgetting, too, that Vernon Olivier is out.
No,
So look, we know
it's
you're
a-
pulling for him. You give him
it's a
much of
car
a
wreck.
chance. Honestly,
Yeah, they've got total of nine starters out. And no, I'm sorry. I'd love to see it happen, but I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. But
Mark,
Juju,
the only good part is that I'll be in Vegas and I'll be able to put down a couple of shekels. I'm sorry.
hey,
on the
man, you know what,
Steelers.
though? If the roles were reversed, the Blue Bloods would allow it a week. The commissioner would have pushed this a week if the role.
They
Yeah, I
can't
believe
do
it.
it.
if it was a
Conspiracy.
Nah, they can't do it.
No.
They
They
can't do it
would
the
have.
way it's set
Look,
up. They can't
you
do
got
it.
Baker Mayfield. I know Big Ben is Big Ben, but Big Ben is old, and I think it's good for the league if Baker has success.
Yes.
You know, he's a
it's-
lightning
Chris, they
rod
can't
and-
do it, though, the way the thing's set up with the games.
It's
You can't.
hard. It's
and
hard.
what do we talk about? Mark, if they delay it and then the Steelers come down with COVID, then now what?
Remember,
I mean,
we saw that with Baltimore.
Well,
You can't
Rob,
do it.
Had a game.
Rob,
canceled
do
a
it.
few times.
you and I'll have to suit up and play then, man. Okay.
Thanks,
Rob
Thanks,
ain't
guys.
playing, believe me.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a wide receiver, Chris. I dare you to cover me. The next time you come to LA, I'll go out for a
You're
pass.
up there, man. You know, I don't want to.
I'm Harold Carmichael. Are you kidding me?
Can't do it. You
Compared
are
to
a tall
you.
one. You are a tall
Scott.
cup of coffee or whatever the
Call,
saying
right.
is.
Scott in Pennsylvania. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Scott?
How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing
Good,
great,
man. How are you?
All right, well, I'm going to start this off by admitting I'm a homer for the Steelers. I'm
That's fine.
Pennsylvania born and bred. And that last caller, man, got my blood boiling with the blue blood comment about all the NFL pushing back. Look what the NFL's done to the Steelers this season with the
No,
Ravens
right.
3 times.
Right.
Right.
And plus, if you push it back to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Pittsburgh win, they got to play Sunday again?
Right.
Now
And-
they're at a
and-
disadvantage
right.
the next week.
No, they can't. They can't
Exactly.
move the games. They can't move them. Right.
No. Nope, you play with what you got. I mean, that's what they're going to have to do.
So
And-
how
and
good
before I
are
hang
you
up quick-
feeling about your team? I mean, okay, look, obviously they have huge
Okay.
advantages against Cleveland, but you know,
Are they going to win by 2 touchdowns so I don't have to sweat it out?
Look, I'm in my 50s. I've been a Steeler my whole life. Games like this, they usually scare me a little bit. Games you think they should just walk in and it should be over at halftime and Rudolph should be playing the second half, or games that I'm biting my nails and pacing the floor. So
yeah.
I'd like to think they should. They should win easily by 2 touchdowns, but I don't know if I'd bet that. Yeah, the 6 points,
They'll
I'll
win,
take.
but it might
I'll take
be
the
close.
touchdown.
If they can't beat a team with 9 missing starters and no coach by 1 touchdown at home, it's going to be a quick playoffs for the Steelers. Seriously.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
quick anyway.
Right. All right.
Once
No,
they lose in the next
no,
week.
no.
Appreciate the call. Mark in Sacramento, you're on the Odd Couple. Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Mark?
What's going on, gentlemen? Before I answer that question, so I'm looking at something on my TV that kind of got me a little nervous. In big black letters, it says Donald J. Trump Twitter account permanently suspended.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, that's his heir. Uh-oh.
No. They're right. I don't know what he's going to do. He's going to be sick over it, but they're not playing anymore. Like nobody's playing anymore. Like what happened?
It's a mess.
Was right.
Yeah.
Just a mess.
I just had to throw that out there. But anyway, real quick, the Steelers should win this game. But I'll tell you why I think the game is going to be closer is because the Steelers' two best players, as far as I'm concerned, Dupree and Bush, has been gone a while. And the one team that's going to run the ball at them with Chubb and Hunt, it's Cleveland. Right. They're going to run right at them. Oh, yeah. So I think the game may be closer. And as far as Juju's gone anyway. They drafted his replacement. Pittsburgh don't pay receivers. They let them go.
No,
Juju's on a contract.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
He's gone. Yep.
He's gone with the young kid Johnson and Claypool. They already drafted his replacement, just like he was Antonio Brown's replacement, just like Antonio Brown was Emmanuel Sanders' replacement. Yeah.
Their history,
they don't pay people.
Plaxico Bird, they do that. That's what they do. All right, Mark, great call. We got Bucky Brooks. Uh-oh.